So, hello, I'm here again with Fernanda, and we are go ahead and conduct the two lesson plans for the mastery class. Now, last time that I was with her, I conducted the RI assessment, and through the assessment, I was able to learn a few things about her. And let's go ahead and start. So, Fernanda, it is holiday season, so I thought this was a good subject for us to learn. Okay, now, do you like candy? Yes. Okay. Now, let me start with a question. In three sentences, explain what is your favorite type of candy? Or which one is your favorite type of candy? And why is this one your favorite type of candy? Okay, so go ahead and write it down. Just go ahead and finish the sentence. Okay. So, what do you think? Can you go ahead and read me the sentence?
My favorite type of candy is chocolates because they are more sweet and it's more good.
It's really
It tastes more good.
Okay, well, let me tell you, I love chocolate as well. Now, as you know, there are a lot of chocolates, right? Now, our lesson has to do with chocolates, okay? Now, let's go ahead and write your name on the very top. Now, Fernanda, in the PowerPoint, the title is The History of Chocolates. Now, do you see all these types of chocolates? Okay. Now, what is something particular about chocolates?
Um,
Can they be different sizes?
yes.
Can they be different flavors?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Now, when I was reading your questionnaire about the your interest, something that really stood out for me was the fact that you wanted to know about more about a person, right? Or someone, an interesting person. So this lesson, this text is gonna be focused on that. Now, it's called The History of Chocolate. Now the vocabulary, okay? Repeat it after me. Refreshment,
Refreshment.
grab,
Grab.
groceries,
Groceries.
continues,
Continues.
arrange,
Arranged.
apprentice,
Apprentice.
caramels,
Caramels.
expand,
Expand.
convention,
Convention.
equipment,
Equipment.
focused,
Focus.
and afford.
Afford.
Okay? Now, sometimes when we have very long words, what we can do is say it and try to clap it. Okay? So let's go ahead and so we can do the syllabus. Okay? Refreshment. Okay? Let's go ahead and say it with me. Refreshment. Okay? Grab. Grab. Okay? Groceries. Groceries. Okay? Continues. Continues. Okay? Arrange. Arrange. Apprentice. Apprentice. Okay, very good. Now, the history of chocolates. Now, let's go ahead and I'll have you start reading, okay? And all the way from right here. People?
People from all over the world like the taste of chocolate. Chocolate is a refreshment that many people enjoy as a dessert or snack. Did you ever grab a chocolate bar at the store when you were checking out groceries with your mom or dad? Did you ever buy a chocolate bar at the gas station when your parents stopped to buy gas? Did you ever get to pick out a chocolate candy bar at the basketball game or soccer game or a soccer game?
Very good. So, this is telling us that we can find chocolate almost everywhere, right? For example, we can get a chocolate at
The
a
gas station.
Groceries, right? Or even in any of the games. Okay, let's continue.
Some people like dairy chocolate and some people like light chocolate. Some people like plain chocolate and another like nuts or cream inside. Maybe you have gone to a candy shop and then that made lots of different kinds of chocolates, or you might have taken a trip out east and stopped at Hershey, Pennsylvania, where
Milton.
Hershey first made chocolate for Hershey's candy. The name Hershey is known through the world. Milton Hershey died in 1945, but the chocolate factory and Hershey chocolate continues to be made in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Miss Hershey thought it would be a good idea for her son Milton to learn a business from someone who was a successful businessman. So when Milton finished 4th grade, she arranged the Milton to become a printers.
Let's continue. There's one of our new words.
Apprentice. apprentice where he would learn about print, newspapers, and books. However, Milton did not like this kind of work, and soon he was serving as an apprentice under his father, who got a new job in a candy factory where he helped to make candy. After a few years, Milton knew that he was a good candy maker, and he wanted to start his own candy business. He tried to build several businesses in many different cities, and he did not give up until his candy business was finally a success. He learned to make caramels and to expand the kinds of candy he made. When he was 29 years old, he moved back to Pennsylvania to start a caramel business, and in 4 years his business was very successful. After seeing how chocolate was made at a chocolate convention, Milton purchased the equipment needed to make similar chocolates. He got married and sold the caramel company for $1 million and opened up a chocolate factory. Hershey built an entire whole town complete with houses, schools, churches, and stores. So the people who worked in his factory could live nearby. The Hershey's Chocolate Company grew to make sweet chocolate and cocoa. He focused his factory on the nickel bar, a chocolate bar that everyone could afford. Then he added Hershey Kisses and Hershey's with almonds. As success and profits rose, he expanded his town to add a sports and arena, a stadium, and a school to learn how to make chocolates. The school was for orphan children, and when his wife died, Milton took all of his money, $60 million, and gave it to the school to help these children. He also made a foundation, which is an organization that gave money to people who need it. His foundation is designed to help people get an And education.
Okay, good job. Now that was long, right? Let's go ahead and breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, but make sure that it goes all the way up here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, good job. Now, it's very long. Ooh, we got one more, okay? Now, I'll help you with this one. Milton Hershey died in 1945, but the world remembers him not only for making chocolate bars, but for his work to help people through his foundation. A medical center for the Pennsylvania State University was also founded. Hilton Hershey is remembered as someone who built an entire city and helped people get jobs. He is remembered for someone who made a school for children who did not have families. He's someone who made a medical center to help those who were sick, and someone who will make that chocolate, the yummy chocolate that most of us throughout the world enjoy. Okay, and the end. Now, there were some words, okay, from our vocabulary that were a little bit hard. Now, is there one that you feel like I'm still kind of like I'm not sure about this vocabulary word? Remember, we have our word bank at the very top. So go ahead and circle that word. Okay, good job. Okay, and let me tell you, that was the word that I was thinking because that's a hard word, right? Is this the first time you heard that word apprentice?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go ahead. And the good thing about this lesson is that they're underlined, right? Now, something, Fernanda, that we can always do whenever we have a question about a vocabulary word, we always go back to the lesson and we go back exactly where we see that word in the sentence, and we try to figure out what's the word meaning, because sometimes it doesn't tell us the answer, right? But whenever we read the sentence, though, we can figure it out the word by reading the sentence. Now let's go ahead and start right here. Okay, so we already identified right here's the word apprentice. We are going to use context clues. Okay, so we are going to go to the word, okay, and through with the rest of the sentence we're going to figure out what's the meaning. So go ahead and read it again.
So when Milton finished 4th grade, she arranged for Milton to become a apprentice where he would learn about print, newspapers, and books.
Okay, apprentice. Okay, now what's right after apprentice?
Where he would learn about print, newspapers, and books.
Okay, so go ahead and underline where it says learn about print, newspapers, and books. Okay, now if he was, and right here where it says she, who is the author referring to?
Miss Hershey.
Which is the mom, right? Okay. Milton become a printer's apprentice. Okay. Now, in that job, he will learn about print, newspapers, and books. So, if he's learning, what could be another word for apprentice?
Learning.
Okay, a learner, probably. What could be another word?
And
learner, it's a good one. Okay. What about students? Would that work out because he's
Yeah.
learning, right? So, students. Now, go ahead and write the word student right on top of apprentice. I know it's very tight. Okay, now let's go ahead and read it again, the sentence, but using the word student instead of apprentice. Okay, let's see if it makes sense.
So when Milton finished 4th grade, she arranged for Milton to become a printer's student where he would learn about print newspapers and books.
So what's the definition for apprentice?
Student.
Student, right? Is that easier to understand?
Yes.
Right? Now, right here, remember, Fernanda, when, let me see, right here in the PowerPoint. Oops. Right here. We are going to be using the QAR strategy, okay? So we're always going to go back to the text and remember, the answer is right there, okay? So whenever we don't know, we can always go back to the text and answer and find out the answer there, just like apprentice, right? We use context clues and we were able to figure it out. Another word for apprentice is student. So think and search. So slow down. Whenever you're taking a test, make sure that you can always go back and read, okay? Always like we did it. Read it through the first time, but then whenever you get to the question, go back and read it again. Make annotations like we just did, okay? And make your own connections, okay? What is something, okay, right here we have the context clues, okay? Good readers figure out unknown words by using schema, clues from the text, clues from the pictures, and rereading, okay? So always go back to reread, okay? Now, let's go ahead and put this to practice, okay? Now, the story of Milton Hershey. Now, what's something that made you think about Milton Hershey? Was he a very persistent person?
Yes.
Determined? Why?
Because he um because he was um he would learn about printing newspapers and books.
Mm-hmm. But what was his did he just stay right here with the newspapers and books?
No.
What did he ended up making?
Factories. He ended up making candy businesses.
Mm-hmm. And more specifically, what type of candy? Chocolate, right? Now, right here, go ahead and read this paragraph.
After a few years, Milton knew that he was a good candy maker and he wanted to start his own candy business. He tried to build several businesses in many different cities, and he did not give up until his candy business was finally a success.
Okay, very good. So he started with a candy business, right? But then, how did that change into chocolate? Okay, let's go ahead and read this part.
After seeing how chocolate was made at a chocolate convention, Milton purchased the equipment needed to make similar chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
He got married and sold the caramel company for $1,000. $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
He opened up a chocolate factory.
So he had vision, right? He was like, oh, I see. And right here, convention, it's like a big place where people go and get ideas, okay? So he went after he started, he was on the right track. He was already making some type of candy, right? He was with caramels. But then he went to the chocolate convention and he had like the idea, like, wow, maybe I should go with chocolate, right? Now, what happened next?
Hershey Hershey built an entire town com- complete with houses, schools, churches, and stories so people who worked in his factory could live nearby. The the Hershey's Chocolate Company grew to make sweet chocolate and
Cocoa.
cocoa.
Very good. Now, so we have right here that not only he opened a company, but what else he made?
He made schools, churches, and houses.
So imagine this little town where we live, and it's and that we have a business, okay, like a chocolate business, and we all work for this person. Now, let's see. I saw over here. It said, do you remember what state? It's Hershey,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Now look at right here the United States map. Okay, do you see where Hershey, Pennsylvania is at? Is that far away from where we are? Okay, do you know where we are right here in the map? Okay, I know it's hard without the lines, right? But this more or less, we're down right here, right? We're in the southwest coast of the country, so right here. So it's kind of far, right? But if we're ever by Pennsylvania, maybe we can go visit some chocolate. Or if you, whenever you buy a kisses, okay, or a chocolate. Do you like this type of chocolates? Yeah, me too. Okay. Now, before we go back, okay, this is the rereading that we're doing. Go ahead and read this one again.
Milton Hershey is remembered as someone who built an entire city and helped people get jobs. And he is remembered for someone who made a school of children who did not have families. He is someone who made a medical center to help those who are sick, and someone who made that chocolates are that yummy chocolate, and most of us throughout the world.
Okay. Now, question: do you think that he was a good person? What makes you think that he was a good person?
Because he made schools for children that did not have families.
So he had a lot of money, right? But he chose to help other people with the money. So yeah, that tells us that he was a good person. Now, let's go ahead and put our knowledge into practice. Go ahead and get the pencil and write your name. Yeah, somewhere in there. Okay, now go ahead and write the words in the next line. Okay, just as you see them: career, okay, switch, sprinkled, squeezed, Very good. Now, our next word says use a word in a sentence. Underline the word use. So our word is delicious. Okay? Think about it before we start writing. Think about the sentence. Give me thumbs up once you have the word, the sentence. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and write it down. Okay. Underline the word. Could you read me the sentence?
Some people think that candy is delicious.
Okay. So you see, first when we think about the sentence before we start writing it, it's better because we already have the idea, right? And rereading the sentence again helps us correct, right? You were missing a word right there. What word you were missing?
That.
Very good. Okay. So it's always about going back. Now. Fernanda, no. Right here. Yes. The word apprentice is described in the text. Who is most likely an apprentice? Okay. Option A. Can you read it for me?
A teacher who teaches reading at school. A parent who cooks dinner at your house. A friend who's bike with you to the park. Someone who learns a trade from someone who is skilled.
Okay. So what did we say was the definition for apprentice?
Student.
Okay. So what's the one that it's mostly close to? Okay, could you read me the answer again?
Someone who learns a trade from someone who is skilled.
Which is a student, right? Okay. Question number 2. Can you read it for me?
Hershey, Pennsylvania is a famous town. Which of these does not describe the town of Hershey?
Okay. A. Houses, school, churches, and stores. B. Sports arena. Stadium. Ice rink. Okay. So what was your answer?
Ice rink.
Why?
Because that it wasn't mentioned in the story.
It was not mentioned at all, right? Very good. Now, number 3.
According to the text, which of the town of Hershey described to? According to the text, what is the town of Hershey described to do?
Designed to do. What was the town of Hershey's designed to do? So A. Offer a school and jobs for orphan children. B. Add a city to Pennsylvania. C. To make nutritional, low-calorie food. Or D. All of the above. Okay. Now, what was your answer?
Offered a school and jobs for approach children.
Orphan children, right? Do you know what's the meaning of orphan children?
People, kids that don't that their parents left them.
Mm. Or they die, right? They don't have a mom or a dad. Now, you and that's the correct answer. Now let's go back and just make sure that this is the correct answer and why you picked that answer. Okay, go ahead and read right here.
As success, a
Profits.
rose, he expand his town to add a sports arena, a stadium, and a school to learn how to make chocolates. The school was for orphaned children, and when his wife died, Milton took all of his money, $60 million, and gave it to the schools to help those children.
Okay, very good, right? So he offered school and jobs for the orphan children. Okay, let me see. Number 4. Hershey chocolates are eaten throughout the world. Which of these describes the variety of chocolates that is made? Okay. A. Dark chocolate. B. Light chocolate. C. Plain chocolate. D. Chocolate with nuts. E. Chocolate with creams. F. All of the above. Or G. None of the above. Now, what is the word variety?
Like a lot.
Like a lot, right? Having a lot of options. Now, if Hershey's chocolates are eaten throughout the world and they have big variety of chocolates, do you think that they're only going to pick plain chocolate?
No.
So what do you think will be an option? Okay. So what answer do you pick?
All of the above.
Why?
Because variety is a lot, and from a lot of options. So all of the above.
So in order for a business to be successful, they need to have a lot of options, right? Because I might like chocolate with almonds, but I don't like dark chocolate. What's your favorite type of chocolate?
Yeah, almonds.
Almonds too? Okay, yeah. Yay, high five for that. Okay, now, you know what? Let's take a breathing break, okay? Let's go ahead and stretch your arms up. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put your hands on top of your head. Let's pretend we're a balloon. Okay, we're gonna make our balloon big. Okay, let's go ahead and breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, now let me see the question that we're gonna do. This question, okay? We're gonna answer the rest, but this is the question that I want us to answer. How will Milton Hershey be remembered? Okay, wait, think about it. Ready? Yeah? Okay. Now, what's a good way that we can start a sentence?
Hershey, Milton's Hershey will be remembered.
Very good. That's the race, right? So Milton Hershey. Because we're restating the question. As. Yay. Okay. Go ahead and read me your sentence.
Milton Hershey's will be remembered as making chocolate bars, but for his work to help people through his foundation.
Okay. So very good. Not only did he make chocolate, right, but he also was a generous man that he helped people. Okay. Now, something that also very important, he built a city, right?
Yeah.
That sounds easy, but it's not easy. So now, thank you, Fernanda. Okay, we'll go ahead and continue working. And